The water from Saturday night's storm created devastating amounts of damage across Omaha and the surrounding area. One of the areas hit the hardest by the storm was the Old Market downtown. And the Huskers will mark Patriot Day by honoring 2 fallen Nebraska heroes during the game. They are Army Sergeant Jessica Jackson and Lincoln Police Investigator Mario Herrera. Good evening, and thank you for choosing 3 News Now Weekend Edition. Traffic on I-80 was backed up for miles due to a deadly multi-vehicle crash this morning. Today, we're focusing on the experience of refugees. 3 News Now reporter Jessica Edson shares the story of one man's journey from Iraq to his new home here in Nebraska. A group of Nebraska lawmakers want your opinion on their 2 proposals for carving up the state's 3 congressional districts. But she has taken her hobby of making dog treats and turned it into a growing business. A business that's taking off and becoming larger than her wildest dreams. Today, the remains of Corporal Dagan William Tyler Page, a Marine from Omaha who was killed during the suicide bombing at the Kabul airport in Afghanistan, will arrive home. COVID cases are soaring once again in Nebraska, and that's leading to new requirements at some local long-term care facilities. And when it comes to the hospital system, staff is seeing a rising number of cases daily, but also a shortage of healthcare workers, making those daily increases even more difficult. This comes as Lancaster County saw record-breaking numbers over the weekend. Nearly 1,300 cases reported on Friday, shattering the previous daily high by more than 400.
Miembros de la comunidad vinieron al Wesley Center para celebrar la cultura hispana y para dar gracias a las personas que dieron su tiempo y su corazón a la comunidad del barrio. El Departamento de Salud dice que niños 13 y mayor pueden sentar enfrente del carro.
The weather is finally getting warmer and more people are hopping on their bikes to go around town. Now, bikes were hard to find during the pandemic because of supply chain issues, and bike stores in Lincoln may look full right now, but that's only because their shipments are finally coming in. Now in Nebraska, you can already open carry legally, and this bill would just allow gun owners to conceal carry without applying for a permit.
And Senator Hilkman explained that even though DNA is collected during the booking process, that DNA would not go into the system until that individual is charged. The forensic analyst did tell us today that there were no usable fingerprints found on the gun. Now the trial will resume tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Reporting live in Columbus, Ariana Martinez, Channel 8 News. A very emotional end to day 2 of the trial today as the jury heard audio from August 26th, 2020. Investigator Mario Herrera was wearing a pocket audio recorder on his body that day. They did want the community to know that there will continue to be a police presence at Walnut Creek and for everyone to avoid the area this weekend. Firefighters and crews have been battling the flames near Cambridge around the clock. Currently, the fire is still at 0% contained and 6 families have lost their home. Rosewood Academy was a daycare facility with 3 locations in the Omaha area. They have since been closed, and one of the owners has been charged with a misdemeanor in the way that he handled a child. Now, parents of those children who were abused at these facilities spoke out today to share their stories. Warning, these stories may be difficult to hear.
Forced to sleep on the bathroom floor, kicked down the stairs, telling a child to go kill themselves, throwing a baby into a crib, pushing kids into walls, enclosing kids into a small space, dislocated shoulders, and more.
Parents spoke about the pain and frustrations they are still dealing with, knowing they took their children to a place where harm was being done to them for months, unaware it was going on.
I couldn't keep my promise to my son to keep him safe this time, but I'll spend however long it takes fighting to change the system that failed my son so that no other parent or child has to go through what these families have been through. This bill will start by requiring the 2 arms of DHHS to communicate with each other when a report of abuse is made.
LB 854 is simply a start, and if passed would force the Department of Health and Human Services Division of Child and Family Services to communicate with the Department of Public Health when there is an investigation underway.
This is dozens of children who were all failed by the system, and it was a breakdown of communication within it.
Senator Jen Day mentioned there are other areas that still need work as the bill doesn't address how parents are specifically notified.
There's lots of child care facilities where they do follow the appropriate steps. They are there to make sure kids are safe. But in the incidents that the child care facility is not doing their job, there should be a backup process in terms of the state agencies following through on reporting to parents, especially if their children are part of an investigation.
During the hearing today, there was no public opposition, one written letter as a neutral party, and around 80 letters and people present to support the bill. Parents want this gap of communication fixed in the state system.
The DHHS departments failed to communicate with each other and with parents, resulting in us not finding out about this abuse till more than a year after it occurred.
In the end, those involved with child abuse at the Rosewood Academy were given a plea deal, and their felony charge was lowered to a misdemeanor. Senator Day says that in the future she hopes to work on a bill that for people like that, they couldn't go to another state and open another child care facility, because unfortunately right now they could, since their charge was only a misdemeanor. Reporting live in front of the state capitol, Ariana Martinez, Channel 8 News. After interns graduate from Project Search, I wanted to check in on them to see how they're doing with their jobs in the real world. So today I stopped in at Hy-Vee and spoke with Jarrett, who's been a dedicated worker here for the last 7 years. Managers shared with me how Jarrett Ayers just lights up a room with his positivity.
Smile every aisle.
Jarrett is responsible for aisles 10 through 12, where he makes sure every product is in the right spot and facing forward nicely on the shelf.
My butterwork, my nice and neat.
He has a job, and it's a job that it needs done. It's not something, we bring Jared in to have Jared. We bring Jared in to do a job, and he does an amazing job.
After students graduate from Project Search, Nebraska Vocational Rehabilitation, or the Nebraska Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired helps individuals with developmental disabilities obtain and maintain employment.
We support the interns while they're in Project Search to help them with the skills needed to be employed, but also with that transition after high school, which we assist them with finding employment after.
With so many employers looking for dedicated employees, the Department of Health and Human Services Division of Developmental Disabilities is emphasizing how important it is to hire individuals with special needs.
The big thing is it's also an opportunity to educate Nebraskans about the importance of inclusion in the community and how it improves, not only our workforce, but also our society as a whole.
For employers who may be hesitant,
He's an employee that doesn't miss time. He's dependable. He does a great job. He treats our customers amazingly well. They have fun with him. He has fun with them. And it's really a nice feeling to know that he's going to do a great job for us. So if anyone has any doubts, just take some ownership in it, train, and just watch what can happen.
do you like working here?
I do.
If an employer is looking for dedicated employees and would like to partner with one of these state programs, more information can be found on our website, klkntv.com. Reporting from Hy-Vee and Plattsmouth, Ariana Martinez, Channel 8 News.